Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about the whole series of ships and why many players, mostly pirate players, have a pretty wrong misconception about them. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get started. The first thing that we have to clear up about the Hull class is what they actually are. The Hull is produced by MISC or Musashi Industrial Concern, and it is a class of 5 ships. Starting with the Hull A, the smallest ship, going over the B, C and D to the last, the Hull E, which is the largest of the class. The E has a cargo capacity of close to 100,000 SCUs and is thus able to even supply like a whole planet on its own. One thing that's very special about this class, however, is the fact that they carry their freight on the outside and not on the inside. This is done by using an extendable spindle system that lets the ship change in its size. When they are not in the cargo mode, they are much smaller than when they are carrying cargo. All in all, this means that the whole class is going to be the perfect ship for people that want to carry a lot of stuff around. Only issue is they can't land when they are extended, at least not the larger models. The Hull A and the Hull B can land, the Hull C, D and E are unable to land when extended. But now let's talk about the misconceptions that many people have about them. One of the main points that people bring up about the whole class and why they think they are not going to be very useful in specific situations is the fact that they are very big and most likely relatively slow targets, and thus pirates will have an easy time to shoot them and to stop them. I don't think this is entirely true, because for the size that the whole classes have, they have relatively good shields. This also does not take into account that these ships are made by MISC and thus have usually very good armor protection. Just take for example the Hull C. The Hull C in the concept comes with 2 large shield generators. If you go up one class higher with the Hull D and with the Hull E, you even get 2 capital-sized shield generators, meaning that these ships are incredibly tanky. So tanky, in fact, that they can even win DPS fights against specifically built anti-capital ship fights, even though the armament that they have is comparably relatively small. I once did a comparison of a Banu Merchantman versus a Hull D, and the Hull D would just outright win that fight because it just out DPSs the Banu Merchantman. Yeah. Next thing that people forget is the simple fact that the space is very big. Even if you just have a single star system, the chance that you can intercept a somewhat skilled navigator is relatively low. You have to get within, well, let's say 20 kilometers to a ship to spot it on your radar. A 20 kilometer large bubble is still incredibly small in the whole space. So when a pilot simply goes ahead and just does not do jumps in one leg, but for example jumps to a different point first and comes from a different direction, the chance that you will intercept him, even with quantum interdiction, is low. Lastly, who's going to transport the stolen cargo? It is incredibly difficult to even find a ship that has enough cargo that is not a whole class itself. If, for example, you would have a pirate fleet of 5 Cutty Blacks and 1 Cutty Caterpillar, then you would have to do a lot of trips just to unload a Hull C. I think the ballpark was around 150 trips to be able to bring 4,600 SCUs of cargo away from the wreckage that you just created. 150 trips, this time frame that you are spending to do these 150 trips is so immense that the whole profits that you're going to make from this is relatively low, especially when you have to crew 6 ships. So it literally would be more worthful to just do legal contracts instead of trying to steal the cargo from a whole class that is in most cases going to be low value goods like scrap or titanium and other relatively low value metals. All in all, it's not going to be easy to take on these ships. You first have to find them, and then you also have to take them out, considering for the size relatively good shield generators. I even think that probably in the future the whole season may actually get a better shield generator when like buff comes to it or something like that. Lastly, these ships also have turrets. This is like something people forget. The whole sea has a single size 3 and 3 size 4 turrets with 2 guns each. That may not be a lot, but it is still going to be more than enough firepower to fight off smaller ships. All in all, this means that the whole class is not going to be an easy target. Combining the fact that it does have defensive turrets, it does have a lot of hit points for its size and very good shields for its size. I mean, the whole D and the whole E both have capital sized shields. They are not going to be taken out easily. Even if a pirate gang manages to take them out, they now have the problem of trying to bring away a lot of cargo. It takes multiple runs, over 100 in fact, to even empty a whole sea with your normal pirate ship. It takes even more to empty a whole D or a whole E, so the whole ordeal is not really worth it. This also does not consider the fact that these ships can take routes that would result then from coming from a different direction and come out of quantum in a completely different place. Meaning that you would have to screen a giant area just to be sure, yeah, I can catch this ship. Lastly, this also does not consider modifications that were done to whole classes. The whole D and the whole E both have a military version that is more armed and more armored. Also, there is a whole class that is called the Discreet, which is a whole C that is heavily modified to fight back against pirates. The hulls are very modular ships, meaning that you can put gun turrets, extra shield generators, small hangar bays for snap fighters on them to further increase the defenses. I myself just envision a whole player not actually carrying any cargo and have every single cargo container replaced with a gun turret just to lure in pirates to think, oh yeah, this is an easy target, let's shoot him. And then suddenly all the container boxes open up and a hail of bullets scream towards the pirates. Such a hail would probably even be able to take out some of the capital ships. Just imagine. This whole thing is, by the way, called a Q ship or a auxiliary cruiser. It was a real thing during the First and the Second World War to deal with submarines. It was concealed cargo ships that had a lot of guns on them concealed in small boxes. All in all, I think that people really underestimate the whole class and just think, oh yeah, it has all the cargo outside, so it's going to be an easy snack. CRG already confirmed that all the cargo places are actually behind shield cover. So you would have to take out the shield to even have a chance to get to the cargo. Anyway, I hope you liked my little video of me sharing some thoughts about the whole class, and I hope we see us in the next one. Have a great day, and bye bye.